If you want the Miami Dolphins to go out and get a new running back, I want you to go ahead and smash the like button. The fact that Miami went out and hired Mike McDaniel, who was regarded as a running back guru, does give me a lot of confidence that he would be able to bring in the right guy. So if you want the Dolphins to get a new running back, I want you to go ahead and smash that like button. Dolphins running back free agent targets is coming up here on today's show. But before I get into it, it is presented by Manscaped. Valentine's Day, y'all, is right around the corner, and I don't want you to find yourself on the free agent market. So head on down, go to manscaped.com, use promo code Dolphins. That way you're going to get 20% off and free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. So the fact that McDaniel was hired as the new head coach, I personally believe he is going to implement his run-first style of offense that you saw with the Atlanta Falcons when him and Shanahan were together a few years ago with Atlanta, and then basically what you've seen the past few seasons with the San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, when you have a solid running game, it's going to take a lot of pressure even off your offensive line, because one of the areas that the Dolphins struggled, obviously, was pass protecting Tua. It's also going to open up a lot of things for Tua and these wide receivers. In terms of who are the running backs on the roster as it stands right now, you have Myles Gaskin, who you drafted in the 7th round. Duke Johnson's going to be a free agent. Salvon Ahmed's going to be an exclusive rights free agent, so if you wanted to bring him back, you could. Malcolm Brown, free agent. Phillip Lindsay, free agent. Your fullback, Laird, he is a restricted free agent, and then you have Dokes. So as it stands right now, you have Myles Gaskin and Dokes as your only running backs on this squad. Now, when you look at some of these numbers from last season, Gaskin, 173 carries, 612 yards, 3 touchdowns. I personally thought Duke Johnson looked the best out of all the backs with 71 carries, 330 yards, 3 touchdowns. Ahmad, Lindsay, and then Brown, as you can see, chipped in here and there, but one of the biggest issues that this Dolphins team has been, they've tried to be cheap at the running back position, and over the past 2 years, it's really bit them in the ass. So who should the Dolphins go out and sign, or I should say, should the Dolphins sign a free agent running back? Type Y for yes or N for no. And a lot of times when I do these shows, I always say, honestly, I don't like the idea of the Dolphins going out and signing a free agent running back because I'm not a big person who believes in spending top dollar at the position. But if you can find somebody who you believe fits your system, and if you can find somebody at a cheaper value, then I'm a little bit more okay with it. But why for yes and for no? One of the reasons why I would be okay doing it, and sure, I don't want to overspend, but at the end of the day, the Dolphins right now have the most salary cap space in the National Football League, a projected 67.6. So if you wanted to go out and try to take a little bit of pressure off Tua, because this is absolutely his 3rd year, prove-it year, I'm a little bit more okay with figuring that out. So what I decided to do here on today's show is give you the top 5 free agent running backs, and I'm going to rank them from 5, and I'm going to go all the way down to 1. I also sprinkled in some honorable mentions. I also threw in some running backs that could be connected with McDaniel, and 5 running backs that I absolutely would not want the Dolphins to go out and get. So coming in here at number 5, I have Raheem Mostert. And for those that don't know a lot about Mostert, he suffered a chipped cartilage in his knee week 1. He missed 24 games the past 2 years. So why on earth would I want the Dolphins to go out and get him? This would be one of those dudes that you take a cheap 1-year prove-it deal with, because he was an absolute stud in McDaniel's system back in 2019. Look at these numbers here. 137 carries, 772 yards, 8 touchdowns. One of the reasons, this is again not including the playoffs, and Mostert was even a freaking stud in the playoffs that year, was one of the biggest reasons why the 49ers actually ended up making it to the playoffs. Or to the Super Bowl, I should say. I like Mostert. He is a good back. I would not pay him top dollar, especially with the injuries. However, if you can get him on a cheap contract, then this is pretty damn well worth it. With Valentine's Day being a week away, like it's literally a week away, I want you guys to make sure that you're looking and smelling great. Now, sure, it might not be hot as balls right now in Miami, but I don't know about y'all. Anytime I got some serious sweat going on down there, it's probably because I'm either rocking a sick George W., or it's because I didn't put any ball toner and I haven't used the Manscaped body wash. The brand new Manscaped body wash is unbelievable, and I want you guys to go ahead and get your hands on it. That way your significant other will get her hands on, well, your perfect package. That's why they call it that. So go to manscaped.com, use promo code Dolphins. That link is going to be available for you all in the comments. It's also going to be available in the description of this video. Valentine's Day is all about receiving love, giving love and showing the people that you care about the most that, hey, you're thinking about them. I want your girl to go to bed thinking of you. So go to manscaped.com, promo code Dolphins one more time for 20% off and free shipping. Your balls will thank you. Let's go to Cordarrelle Patterson, who's coming off a career year with the Atlanta Falcons. And the reason why I'm going to bring up Patterson is because he's going to be looking for a payday. And there's no doubt about that. He should. He was great against great running between the tackles and great catching the football. Probably Atlanta's best overall option. If I was Patterson and I was his agent, I would say, all right, where's an offense that I could go where I could be used a lot like Deebo Samuel, who's about to get a hefty payday himself? I'd be like, well, maybe I go to Miami. Maybe I could be used the way that the 49ers used Deebo Samuel. He's missed only 2 games in his 9-year career. Definitely impressive. When you look at these numbers by Patterson on a bad Falcons offense, 11 total touchdowns, 618 rushing yards, 52 grabs, 548 yards. I like Patterson a lot. He could be a solid Swiss Army knife for your offense, but you do probably have to go out and pay him a hefty amount of money. Let's go to the number 3 guy on my list here. It's Melvin Gordon. If you're looking to find the end zone, it's what Melvin Gordon does. 67 total touchdowns the past 6 seasons. Personally, I think it'd be a great fit in McDaniel's running system, this zone system. He's been consistent the past couple of years, and even though he made $7 million a year the past 2, I think you go out and get Melvin for like a $4 or $5 million contract. A solid veteran running back who also can catch the football and is a solid pass protector, which is definitely going to be important with Tua. Now, to make sure you guys never miss anything, if you love the Dolphins, go ahead and subscribe for free Dolphins videos the entire offseason, whether it's free agency, whether it's trades, whether it's the draft. We're going to keep you updated, and as soon as the Dolphins do make a move, guess what? I don't want you to miss it. So sub and turn on those notifications. Let's go to number 2 here on my list. It's Leonard Fournette, a solid do-it-all running back who has spent, well, his entire NFL career in the state of Florida, Jacksonville. Then he went on over to Tampa Bay, and back in 2019 when Fournette was trying to get out of the Jags, one of the teams that he was linked to the heaviest was the Miami Dolphins. So I know owner Stephen Ross is going to have at least some sort of connections there. His hard-nosed style of running and the video of him laughing out loud every single time he got tackled is one of the reasons why I respect Fournette. Now, when you look at these numbers here, 180 carries, 812 yards, 8 touchdowns. But one of the things that Fournette really did this season that impressed me was back in 2019, he had 76 catches. And people were like, all right, that was just a fluke here. This past season with Tom Brady, he had 69 grabs. So I know Fournette can do it all. And when that McDaniel running style, tough, hard-nosed runner could also help maybe near the goal line. Now, anytime that we bring up running backs, there's obviously, because of fantasy football, big-name running backs get brought up. Here are 5 names that I would not be interested in. David Johnson, you couldn't pay me to have him on this team. He's washed up. Sony Michel with all the knee injuries, his name's going to become popular because he's in the Super Bowl right now. I don't really think he's that solid of a back. Ronald Jones, I'm good on. Le'Veon Bell's washed up. Matt Breida is also going to be connected to McDaniel because Breida was a solid running back in 2019 in McDaniel's system, though his time in Miami was bad, and he has not looked very good the past 2 seasons. Here are some honorable mentions. I actually really like a lot of the names on this list, and if you don't want to spend big on the more talented free agent running backs, these 5 backs here I think would be really good. Heck, Chase Edmonds was the number 1 running back for Arizona this year when the season started. Royce Freeman's got a good opportunity. Rashad Penny was an absolute stud over the past 5 games. D'Ernest Johnson could be a sneaky name, 3rd running back on Cleveland. And then Marlon Mack. Marlon Mack had back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons. Then they went out and drafted Jonathan Taylor. He's not as good as Jonathan Taylor, but Marlon Mack actually could be a top 25 running back in this league. And then here are some backs who are going to have some connections with McDaniel. Why? Because of past systems that have been involved. Jeff Wilson, JaMychal Hasty, definitely 2 running backs to keep in mind. Jerick McKinnon, he played for a small bit with the 49ers, but when McDaniel was a part of that running back coaching staff, they went out and made McKinnon the 4th highest paid running back in the league. Tevin Coleman, Devonta Freeman back with the Atlanta Falcons in 2015, 2016. Some connections there. I would pass on most of these running backs, though their names will be brought up this offseason. So go ahead, y'all. I'm trying to figure out a running back that the Dolphins should go out and get. I want you to name a free agent running back you want the Dolphins to sign, because coming up right now, the number 1 running back that I think the Miami Dolphins will have the most interest in is James Conner. When Conner was a free agent with the Pittsburgh Steelers a few years ago, the Dolphins were, again, one of the teams linked to him. Why? Because they've been looking for a running back for a very long time. Connor, he had 18 total touchdowns this past season, 15 on the ground, 3 through the air. Now, he has missed a few games, 16 games missed in 5 seasons, but he's a solid runner and a very underrated pass catcher as well. And if I'm the Dolphins and I'm going to go out and spend, let's say, over $6 to $7 million at the position, I would want somebody who's a solid pass blocker. I would want somebody who's a hardworking guy, very well respected, and has a nose for the end zone. All of those things James Conner absolutely has. So to round out my top 5 list, I based this on overall talent at the position, and I based it on fit as well. So I have Conner at 1, Leonard Fournette at 2, Melvin Gordon 3, Cordarrelle Patterson at 4, Raheem Mostert at 5. You will probably have to go ahead and spend a little bit more hefty on these guys. If you want to go look at the honorable mentions again, that could be another very interesting route the Dolphins could do if there's a running back in the draft they have their eyes on.